U.S. President George Bush got an unexpected surprise during his unannounced visit to Baghdad. An Iraqi journalist threw his shoes at Bush, shouting, "Here is your goodbye kiss, dog." The shoes missed, and the man was wrestled to the floor and hustled away. The incident took place during a press conference with Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. Throwing shoes is a deep insult and traditional sign of disrespect and contempt in Arab culture. After the first Gulf War, Saddam Hussein had a mosaic of President George H.W. Bush placed on the ground outside Iraq's Al-Rashid Hotel, forcing patrons to step on his face to get inside. In 2003, Iraqis celebrating the fall of Saddam Hussein smacked his toppled statue with shoes and sandals. Bush shrugged off Sunday's incident.
I didn't feel the least bit threatened by it. These journalists here were very apologetic. They were said this doesn't represent the Iraqi people, but that's what happens in free societies.
A few moments later, al-Maliki and Bush signed the recently approved Status of Forces agreement, paving the way for U.S. combat forces to leave Iraq by the end of 2001.
You have stood by Iraq and the Iraqi people for a long time, starting with getting rid of the dictatorship to helping the Iraqis fight terrorism.
But with the conclusion of these agreements and the courage of the Iraqi people and the Iraqi troops and American troops and civilian personnel, it is decisively on its way to being won.
But over 140,000 U.S. troops remain in Iraq, more than 5 years after the invasion. 4,200 U.S. troops and tens, perhaps hundreds of thousands of Iraqis have been killed. And a new report by the American overseer of the post-war reconstruction measures labels the rebuilding effort a costly and incompetent failure. At the beginning of the war in Iraq, before Bush prematurely declared mission accomplished, administration officials confidently predicted American forces would be greeted with flowers and candy. Instead, in a bitter footnote to his deeply unpopular presidency, Bush leaves Iraq dodging insults and shoes. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Washington.